Alright, so before I begin this video, I'm going to go ahead and explain a few things before I begin this video. This might be not a normal episode of Higurashi when they cry Himatsubushi. Yes, this is not a normal episode because this is an experimental episode of me testing to see how the patch works for me and if I like using the patch of Higurashi when they cry Himatsubushi. Because after a lot of user requests, I've finally decided to download the patch. So right now what you see is the first thing I seen when I downloaded this patch. So here's one thing I did realize. I'm probably going to have to replay a lot of Himatsubushi to get back to the point where I was, which I don't mind doing that. I'll do that. I'll go ahead and do that. But the thing that I will go ahead and explain now, this episode, I may not get any progress done in the game because I kind of want to see every single new thing that I've been missing when I was not using the PS3 patch version of Himatsubushi. So, without further ado, let's figure out what this opening video might contain. Well, it contains my spoilers, but what is it? What is it? Okay, what is this? Yes, let's enable the opening. Let's see this. I love this. Oh, yes! Oh, man, this is awesome. I gotta get my blankie on. Oh, I still see the manga gamer. 07th mod. Thank you to the 07th mod. If you have not checked the 07th mod, please click the link down in the description below. It is amazing. Wait, the opening video? Oh, man. Instead of I might have gotten an opening video. So, alright. Now, let's go ahead and check a few things. Let's see extra real quick. Oh, there's a chapter jump! Yes! Yes! Oh! Okay, I'm happy now. Okay, there's a bonus. Okay, there's a chapter jump, so I can jump back right to the chapter if I needed to, but I'm gonna go ahead and press new game just to see what I'm missing, because I kind of want to see what this new version looks like, and it already looks awesome. Like, this looks awesome already, but I'm gonna go ahead and start from a new game just to see what added stuff has been put into this game. Ah. Man, okay, this is already cool. Alright, I read this text before, but this is already different. The kids are the same, though. Alright, who is the criminal, you ask? Yep. Midsummer 1985. Oh, let's see it. Oh, that is... Wow! It kind of looks like every other visual novel I played on this channel. But still, the art looks so awesome! I had misread the time and ended up arriving too early. Oh, this is so cool. Oh, man. Wow. Wait, will the spelling mistake still be there? I'm not for sure. I'm gonna go ahead and skip through a little bit because I already read this part a few episodes ago, even though I still had the original manga gamer version. It's still the same story, but different art, so I'm gonna skip a little bit through. It has voices. No freaking way. No freaking way. It has voices? Oh my gosh. That is a relief. Come on, let's hear the disguised voice, because there was a disguised voice in this scene. Let's hear it. Come on.
あんた、またかけ直してください。
あなたが名乗ってくれないから困ってんですよ。あんたが犬飼大臣じゃないなら。
Oh! I really missed out on the last time by downloading this patch. Hot freaking damn! Alright. We're getting close to the point where I was. Yeah, we're right here. Wow. That's a way to get back to the scene where I was at. Alright, here we go. Let's now continue with the story. After me having a little bit of fun with this patch, it's time for me to actually begin reading. Then format. Named Sato-san had me get into his car before he set off. He favored narrow roads and made numerous short left turns.
左折法による尾行確認ですか?
That's quite the intense voice. Check to see if you're being tailed by making left turns was a rather classic technique. If it was just a single pursuer, you could confirm it that way. But if you're being tailed as a team, this archaic method wouldn't let you shake them. Of course, doing it anyway was better than not. Oh man, this is so... This is so, like, weird to
やっぱり
me.
警察関係かい
With Higurashi,
旅行確認に詳しいなんて
Actually, I'm gonna play the game before I talk anymore. I just want to play the game now instead of talking.
言わなければならないものでないなら拒否したい質問ですね。
やれやれ麻雀やってからすっかり雰囲気が大人びちまったな。会った時のあのおどおどしたあんたはどこ行っちゃったんだよ。
I smile wryly. Looking back now, I had to be a little grateful for being made to play mahjong. Thanks to that, I was able to relieve some tension. Eventually, Sato-san, confirming that there were no cars following us, slipped outside the city. We were on a pitch-black country road, unable to see anything besides the lights outside. The only things I was able to hear were the hum of the car's air conditioning and the chirping of insects and frogs.
旦那からひなみ沢村については多少のことは聞いてんだろう。
御三家という旧家による支配や現在は園崎家が一党独裁をしているとかそういう話ですか。
そこまで知ってるならくだらない前置きは省略していいな。
では犬飼大臣の孫の誘拐に鬼ヶ淵主導名が関与
I
し
still have to get used to this. Sato-san checked the rearview mirror one more time to confirm there wasn't anybody behind us before speaking.
昨夜園崎本家で親族会議が開かれたそうだ。親族会議ってのは旦那から聞いてるか。
いえ
Also, I love this song. This is from the anime, so I'm getting really happy now hearing this song again. It's getting me nostalgia for some reason.
お茶でも飲むようなもんだよな。
Oh man. I love this patch. I'm using this patch from now on.
そんなのんびりしたものってわけが違う。
Also, I clicked that early. Okay. I gotta get used to this. For games like Course Party and Steingate, I'm able to detect when the voices are over, but for this game so far, I've not been able to detect that, so it's gonna take a little bit. I'm sorry. A family council held by the Sonozaki main house. That would be a meeting between those who truly controlled Himizawa village. They wouldn't be talked about private family matters. It would be about the village as a whole. About organizing activities against the dam project. Among other things, everything would be decided there. In reality, they were deciding the fate of the village. Oryu has character art in this patch. Holy shit. At the head of the meeting was Oryu Sonozaki. More or less called Empress Sonozaki. As the ultimate decision maker of the clan, she was to be feared and respected. And fraught with old age, she was often unable to stand on her own, but her words carried enough weight to sway the fate of the village. It seemed that lately she had grown weak, and on days she wasn't feeling well, remained bedridden. Family councils that occurred while she wasn't feeling well took place with her on the floor. In the middle of a dignified Japanese-style room, still in a futon, only the upper half of her body sitting upright, a stern look on her face. That was Oryu Sonozaki. Mion's younger looking! Oh, that's cool. Okay, so this game does take place 5 years before the initial series of Higurashi starts, so it would make sense that both Mion and Rika would look younger. So I really appreciate how they're actually aging Mion down a little bit. Sitting next to her was her hair, Mion Sonozaki. She was still young. No, young wasn't quite the right word. She was a girl who remained childish. Her role was to immediately sit beside Oryu Sonozaki, sometimes responding to her requests. However, she was the only one deemed worthy to exceed Oryu. She had the same hawkish eyes, enough to give pause to anybody who would so much look at them. Much expected of her in the future, this granddaughter of the Sonozaki's leader. And also on either side of her sat several other important members of the remaining three families, the Kimiyoshi family and the Furei family. He has a big forehead! First on the list for the Kimiyoshi family was of course the mayor of Himizawa village, Kichiro Kimiyoshi. And lined up beside him were several more of his direct relatives. Opposite to them sat the other three families, the Furei family. The Furei family was only comprised of the family of a Shinto priest, so the only ones sitting there were said priest, his wife, and their daughter Rika. Rika was doted on by many of the older folks of the village, and it seemed that Oryu was no exception. While the stress from just attending a family council was said to be enough to shorten the lifespan by 3 days, it seemed like Rika was the only one exempt from that. No matter how charged the atmosphere was around her, she paid it no mind, instead humming along as she doodled in a sketchbook. In fact, the night before, lying on her stomach while humming and doodling, she nonchalantly tucked her legs into Orio's futon like it was a kotatsu. All this was the three families. And all around the room, lying row upon row, were relatives of the Sonozaki family. The only ones who were afforded cushions to sit on were direct relatives. The others were left to sit in the scissor position directly on the tatami mats. With Empress Sonozaki enshrined at their center, they were almost like a giant snake coiled around the room. It was decided that everybody would sit in order of their rank. The number of people from the Sonozaki family was overwhelming. The fact that the Sonozaki family held so many seats at a meeting where everything was pertaining to the village was decided made determining where... Why is that such a long sentence? Holy crap! That is a huge sentence! Hold up! I'm gonna drink of water and try to read this sentence in one go, but jeez, this is a long sentence! The fact that the Sonozaki family held so many seats at a meeting where everything pertaining to the village was decided made determining where the balance of power was held in the three families as clear as day. That is such a long sentence. The number of members in attendance from each of the families directly reflected how much influence they had in ruling Himizawa.
その会議で何が話されたんですか?
Sazen, after remaining silent for a while, quietly began to speak. Oh. Flashback time. Breaking a long moment of silence was the head of the Kimiyoshi family, Kichiro Kimiyoshi. The Okinafuchi Defense Alliance wasn't a business. They were nothing more than a private organization pushing for the cancellation of the Himizawa Dam project with no reliable source of income. Fundraising had always been a problem. When they first started operating, they managed to collect a sizable amount of funds through donations, but as the conflict dragged on, that amount was steadily declining.
石を投げるだけが全ての時代じゃないさ。マスコミの力も侮れないのは重々承知しているし、今後もその力を借りたいのは同じさ。
The expressions of the people related to the Sonozaki family were sullen. As the one who suggested that they should borrow that power was the family head, Oryo Sonozaki. The battle wasn't just about the force of arms. In this civilized age, there were civilized methods of fighting. Oryo suggested that creating a strategy incorporating the mass media. Oryo's foresight was spot on, and the effects of that plan, while at first unclear, slowly began to manifest. If the physical confrontation at the construction site was meant to delay the progress of the dam by even one day, then the propaganda war using the media was aimed at attacking the dam project itself. At first, there were those who had doubts about that strategy, but there was nobody now who called those results into question. But in order to maintain those media ties, a colossal amount of money was required. As long as the amount of funds they had was abundant, things would turn out fine. It could be argued that it was a massive expense, but the results spoke for themselves. But with the conflict continuing to drag on, the circumstances had changed. The head of the Sonozaki family, no, the one who sat at the pinnacle of the Himizawa's three families, Oryus, had suggested the idea herself, so it was already untouchable and continued to be allowed to drain from the budget. Nobody acknowledged that it should be allowed, and nobody could say anything. That was the price of dealing with the mass media.
どうも、お嬢さん。
The only person who could object to a plan proposed by the head of the Sonozaki household herself was probably Mayor Kimiyoshi. Oryu, with a hard-to-find expression on her face, as if she had severed herself from the feathers of mortal emotion, simply listened quietly to Kimiyoshi's words. But really, it was hard to tell if she was quietly listening or didn't have the intention of listening at all.
去年機関士の値上げの理解を得るのにも随分苦労したじゃない。一度だけってことで理解を得て、また今年もってわけにはいかないよ。ねえ、フルテさん。
The mayor looked to the priest and his wife from the Furude family for affirmation. The priest gave a vague expression, avoiding the prompt response. But his wife gave her answer without a second thought.
そうですね。機関士代は特に貧しい家には大きな負担になっています。みんな自分たちの村のためだからと耐えていますが、 これ以上の値上げはやめた方がいいでしょうね。
The bulletin was, as its name implied, a bulletin published by the Okinafushi Defense Alliance. It outlined the alliance's activities, ideals, and resolve, but it couldn't deny the contents were rather pricey meal. That bulletin's main goal wasn't to inform people, but rather as something to sell to business and people living in the village or connected to it, and using those sales to collect funds. In other words, it becomes something of a tax. Of course, it didn't have to be said that this was one of the main sources of income for the Okinafushi Defense Alliance. Originally, purchase was supposed to be voluntary, but in Himizawa it suddenly became the opposite. And the neighboring towns as well, it seemed that many businesses were buying copies just to avoid butting heads with the alliance. The priest whispered to his wife not to say anything unnecessary, but was struck down decidedly with a cold glare. Cowering from that glare, the priest shut his mouth. The priest's wife had always held the power in their relationship. That was because she was the one who carried the Furude bloodline. The priest merely married into the family. He was nothing more than somebody who adopted a name just to join the three families. He should have been able to find a spot fairly high up in the hierarchy of things, but the lack of authority in his voice meant that he still not gained any favor. Casting a backwards glance at her, despite disparate parents, Rika continued to doodle wimlessly without paying them any mind. Ooh, my voice was getting off there. Sent to by a look from Oryu, Mion brought her ear closer to her grandmother. There, something was said to her in a quiet voice. After responding with a couple of questions, with a nod from Oryu, Mion looked around the room and conveyed her grandmother's words.
機関士の値上げもやむを得ません。
Wow. Her mouth so tiny. Kiyoshi made a face like he had just bitten into something unpleasant, but that expression quickly disappeared as if it never happened at all.
だけどミオンちゃん、君だって分かってると思うけど、機関士の負担って軽いものじゃない。ひなみ沢のすべての人間にかかる重みなんだ。あんまり負担をかけすぎれば内部から崩れることだって。
内部から崩れるのは誰ですか？
どれって別にそういう意味じゃ。
最初に崩れるのは誰かと聞いています。
Being cross-examined by a girl who had still being cross-examined by a girl who had still had fragments of childishness remaining within her, the words stuck in Kimiyoshi's throat as he sunk into silence. Mion repeated her question once more, looking around the crowded room. Everybody refrained from making eye contact to avoid being pierced by her gaze. The words she had spoken were unarguably said in proxy for Oryu. That's why when Mion spoke them, they carried the same weight. But the look in her eyes was different. Like Oryu's, they had a hawkish gaze, strong enough that anybody looking upon them would freeze in their tracks and yield. But that gaze was without question one that belonged to Mion herself. As Mion would eventually inherit everything for Oryu, the day when she would stand up as a young and capable leader in her own right would come. Nobody wanted to believe that otherwise for even a minute. That's why nobody even thought of Mion as just some sort of little kid.
君よ機関士の値上げごときでは誰の決意も崩れませんよ。
Kimiyoshi, while still grumbling a little bit, made a gesture as if to say he had no objection.
マスコミ関係への出費は継続とします。その出費がさらに圧迫となるようなら機関士の値上げもやむを得ない。
Mion had rendered her judgment. Everybody bowed their heads, silently listening to her words.
園崎家当主代行園崎美音です。我が名において以上決定し、異議はこれを認めず、抵抗ある場合は実力をもって排除します。
Jeez! The formal decree was read aloud, indicating her judgment. There would be no retrial, but there was a certain authority behind those words that even a courthouse couldn't compare to. If she was a judge, she would have banged her gavel, signaling that the matter was settled. Mion pulled out a large bell from inside her clothes and rang it. I was not expecting that ring, but okay. Everybody present could only prostrate themselves before the harsh sound of the bell. Back to the car.
大時代的な親族会議ですね。
あんたみたいな若い
Oh man, I think I'm getting sick.
信じられないだろうけどね。こういう古い土地にはこんな
No wonder why my voice is so hoarse. Well, good thing some of the words are being read for me. It was exactly as Uishi had said. The old system of the three families had vanished, and now the Sonozaki family was running things by themselves. On top of that, their rule was borderline despotic.
会議はそれで終わりですか？
いや、まだ続く。先を続けるよ。
Ooh, more reading. Eventually, after the ringing of the bell ceased, there was a deafening silence. Within all of that, a low man shuffled closer to Mion and whispered something in her ear. Mion asked several questions quietly in response. When she was satisfied, she motioned for the man to leave. The man who talked to Mion was a member of a gang that her father was a leader of. Okay, I kind of forgot about the whole Sonozaki family Yakuza time, so I kind of forgot about that, so that took me off guard for a second. That organization had the entire area of Shishibone City under its control, so it was quite well known even here. Of course, this was talking about the criminal underworld. That makes sense. So it's not like just anybody would know. But just showing a patch with the gang symbol on it was enough to resolve any disputes in the neighborhood. Mion's biological father, Tooryu, was her daughter's husband, not granddaughter. Oh my fuck. Holy shit. Okay, hold up. I need to clear my mind for a second. Okay, I was really excited in this episode, so calming going down to reading such a serious scene may not have been the best idea after I fanboyed. Like, I just did it right after the fanboy moment, so, okay. Let me take a little bit of a short break real quick before I get back to reading. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry, everyone. However, that man's game was the driving force that controlled the dark underbelly of the Okafuchi Defense Alliance. And so that man, from his position as next in line to control the three families, continued to coerce everybody around him with his unconventional presence. Mion exchanged a look with her father. Was it okay for her to tell what she just heard directly to Oryu? It looked like she was asking him that question. Her father gently but firmly nodded his response. Mion also nodded, then set it up to Oryu and informed her of something. Eventually, Mion finished conveying her message, separated herself from Oryu, and fixated her posture, waiting for Oryu to signal her response. It wasn't often that Oryu showed any emotion. That's why, when she started to laugh quietly, a vague sense of uneasiness crept over everybody in the room.
そら、なんなこともあったものよの。
Oh man. Oryu was laughing so happily that Kimiyoshi had to hesitantly ask.
どうしたんだい、お嬢さん。
我らにとって土地が母なら、この度のダムの騒ぎは母の命を脅かされる騒ぎっちゅうことだろうな。
Kimiyoshi, unable to comprehend the meaning of her words, looked confused. Oryu, with a wide grin on her face, turned towards everybody and addressed them in a Clarion voice. Clarion voice, not Clarion.
ダムの親玉の大臣がの、
It's good music.
現れちまって、右往左往しとるっちゅう話だ。これでおあいこだの。
So the Okafuchi Defense Alliance did kidnap the grandson.
バカな。
Information on the kidnapping of Minister Interguy's grandson should have been leaked from anywhere. How did they know? Even we didn't know much about the kidnapping incident. Exactly how did an antiquated household so far away from Tokyo come to know of it? It was a tranquil place, but I couldn't help but have an uneasy feeling about Timizawa village. At some point, I had mentally filed this place away as unrelated to the incident at hand. That mental paperwork had just blown away in the wind.
どうして鬼ヶ淵死守同盟が知っているんだ。
Sada-san, unable to come up with an answer, fell into silence.
すみません。続きをお願いします。
なあ、
Could they be involved or could they not be?
犬飼建設大臣のお孫さんが現れた。
Were they responsible?
それは本当かい？
That nature of an incident was nowhere to be seen in the newspapers or on TV. But in Himizawa, there was something strange about Oryu knowing something that the rest of the world didn't.
我らの痛みは母を失う痛みじゃの。それに値するとは思わんが、孫を失う痛み。少しは答えるといいんやがの。なあ。
The last question wasn't addressed to anybody in particular. It was as if she was looking for a consensus.
だが、土地と人様の子供ではわけが違うの。隠すのは構わんが、怪我だけはさせたくないもんだよな。ほにゃ何の罪もねえ。 大事にしたれな。
The proof.
それはつまり鬼ヶ淵死守同盟が誘拐。
Oh!
必ずしもそうとは言えねえな。
I'm sorry! I'm so sorry!
当主であるお領がこれほどまではっきりと誘拐した孫の処遇について指示を出しているのに。
兄さん、これはね、園崎家のいつものことなんだよ。
いつものこと？それはどういう意味です？
Let's say there was a particular problem. One that wasn't exactly favorable for the Sonozaki family. If Oryu shows concern over that particular problem, hearing that, somebody who attended the family council would be helpful. As a result, Oryu's wish would be granted. However, neither Oryu or anybody else would know who actually did it. With this kind of clever little ploy, the Sonozaki family was able to manipulate events even though they had their hands laid out on the table.
では、親族会議に出席していた誰かが犯人ということですか？
あるいはそもそも犯人なんかいない可能性だってあるよな。俺自身、その万座の一同の中に誘拐犯がいるって確信を持ってるわけじゃない。ただ、自分の意見を述べただけさ。
It was an odd and unpleasantly secretive way of doing things. Were they involved or weren't they? I couldn't see beyond the veil. This much, however, I can say with certainty. This kidnapping was an ironclad secret. No matter how high a position somebody was in, even they wouldn't know about it. Except for the leader. If there was somebody who would know about it, they would be connected to the public safety. In other words, one of us. The only other archers were people connected to the case itself. Including the minister, there would be people infected by the incident. Or the people that committed it. In any case, there was no way an old household in a place removed from Tokyo by over 6 hours of highway travel should know about it. Them knowing at all was already strange. My suspicions began to accumulate, like falling snow.
孫の誘拐についてお亮が述べたのはここまでだ。あんたの知りたかったことが含まれてりゃいいんだがな。
Well, that's a lot of information right there.
あとは兄ちゃんの仕事だな。何のお仕事やってるか知らんけど、園崎家を相手にするなら相当の覚悟でやっとけよ。大石の旦那は怖いもの知らずだけどな。あれでも2、3回は襲われてる。
Oh. But we should get
最近は
attacked.
来てないけど、一時はオフの時も防塵ベストを着込んでたんだよな。
ええ。忠告ありがとうございます。
I wonder if he wears it during the regular Higurashi series.
標準語が流暢だよな。兄さんは東京とかの人？
え？それが何か？
Investigators were always close to danger. He was best not to divulge any information on myself.
兄さんのお仕事だけどさ、ひょっとして警視庁の公安部の人ってことある？
I couldn't remain silent here. It would be the same thing as admitting it.
まさか。
こっから旦那からもらった金の範囲には入らないんだが、兄さんとは今日宅を囲んだ仲間だからな。サービスってことで話してやるよ。お寮から誘拐の話が出た後、もう一つ話題が出たんだ。
Oh, oh. Another topic that Oreo brought up? And right before you told me this, Salsan asked me if I was from the Metropolitan Public Safety Division? In other words, what those two things meant caused a chill to run up my spine.
そんででな、大臣の孫サラッターノを調べるために東京からはるばる公安の捜査官が派遣されてくるっちゅう話だ。
Oh no!
捜査官、大臣の孫の誘拐な、警視庁の公安部が独自で調べとるっちゅう話だ。は、大行なこったの。どうした？
Rika, who had been drawing the entire time and was completely uninterested in the conversation up until now, looked at Oreo with an interested face as soon as the topic of public safety came up.
警視庁が来たのですか？
リカちゃまは警視庁も知ってなさるんかい。えらいの。
誰が来たのですか？
公安のどんなやつが来やったんか。誰ぞわかるやつはおらんかいな。
Leon's father raised his hand slightly.
新米の若造が一人と聞き及んでおります。
新米？ほかほかなのですか？
ええ、はい。新米とか。
Leon's father smiled wryly as he answered Rika's question.
ほかほかのふかふか？
ええ。
ほかほかのふかふか。
Rika smiled with interest. Why did Rika suddenly get interested when it came to this topic? That was a question that apparently nobody had the answer to.
リカちゃまはその男のこと何か知っているのかな？
知んないのですよ。
Whenever she makes that face, I get scared. After her rather flat reply, Rika buried herself underneath Oryu's futon again. But when she buried herself there, Rika no longer started drawing again. Instead, she was making an expression like she was deep in competition.
どうしますか？お母さん。
Leon's father posed the question. He had the type of uncouth expression on his face, indicating that, given the order, he could snuff out the problem at any time.
はるばるひなみざまで来よった。しばらくはのんびりさせてやるのもよかろう。
泳がせろということでしょうか。
Leon's father asked in response. Oryu smiled thinly as she responded.
ほっといたれな。が、
Oh.
あんまりおいたが過ぎるようやった。そん時は遠慮せんとな。
Oops.
な
Sorry
め
about that.
られるのはすっきゃせんね。
Are you scary?
なんて話があったそうだ。まさかあんた、その警視庁の新米じゃないよな。
まさか。
The sensation of cold, bristling fear began to crawl its way up my spine. Back. This family council took place last night. In other words, yesterday. And today, when I was dressed up as a tourist headed towards Himizawa, my cover was already blown? When I remembered the first person I met when I got to the bus stop, I couldn't breathe. The person of the family council who expressed interest in the man being dispatched from the Metropolitan Police, Rika Furude. And then, the person who was waiting for me the whole time in the bus shelter, Rika Furude. It was an unthinkable image. Oh, it was a delusion. When we met at that bus shelter, did Rika-chan already know my true identity? Did she know that I was Akasaka, dispatched by the Metropolitan Police Department, and come to meet me? Then, including Mayor Kimiyoshi, every villager that I met, everybody knew but pretended not to? Because Uriah gave me the instructions not to interfere? Thinking about it logically, it didn't seem possible. I met quite a number of people. If there's people that are good at acting, then there's people who are bad at hiding things. If there was that many people, then there should have been somebody among them who knew I was from public safety and couldn't hide their hostility. However, I didn't feel any presence like that. But then, even still, why did Uryu tell them to leave me alone? Was it because if they were careless about it, it would only raise more suspicion? Or was it because they believed a rookie like me wouldn't be able to find anything? Akasaka is a coward. I recall that strange voice, which could only make me believe that Rika-chan had been possessed. That unknown entity, no matter how you looked at it, knew my true identity from the get-go. And then, how did it warn me again? That's right. It warned me to hurry up and go back to Tokyo. Instead of the realistic worry that the Ogunafuchi Defense Alliance had discovered my identity, the stern worry brought on by the unknown girl struck with me more. What exactly was that girl? What was the thing I would eventually regret? That mysterious girl. Rika Furude. Let's stop this. Everything I was thinking of right now was merely conjecture. Tomorrow, first thing in the morning, I'll report everything I heard right now to the AQ and await further orders. There was no mistaking that the possibility of the Ogunafuchi Defense Alliance related to this case was there. And that the fact that my cover was blown meant I was in a precarious position. But as everybody at HQ was already extremely busy, they might not be able to spare the support.
もういいかい? よければ好きなところまで送るよ。
あ、すみません。では、お会いした元の駅までお願いします。
A rural road where even a streetlight was rare. I couldn't see anything. How was I aware of anything but the asphalt that was lit up by the headlights? Outside that light, was it simply darkness? Or was there something lurking there, waiting to strike? I had to think I drew the short straw here. I wanted to go back to Tokyo. For some reason, the voice of that girl warning me to go back to Tokyo still lingered in my head. End of the chapter. Calling it now. End of the chapter? End of chapter! Oh my gosh! I love this patch! I'm gonna use this patch from further on in Higurashi! Why did I not use it in the first place? Holy crap! Thank you all for watching, and I think... yes, the tips are here. The investigation runs aground. What's in the box? Let me see those again. Oh, and we get to see Dr. Ari as well. Alright, wait. I just read these. I read those earlier. Hold up, I just read those tips. Wait. What? Oh no, this might be a bug. This might be a bug in the, this might be a bug in the whole, save files. Oops. Yeah, because the new tips, I already read these three. Going smoothly, Why I Like Rainy Days, and Barley Tea and Black Tea and Millstone. I already read those, so I don't know where the tips went. Like, the tips I need to read right now, I can't find them at the moment, so I'm gonna go ahead and end this episode right here. So if you all like this video, leave a like, leave a comment. I'll be reading more Higurashi when they cry in the future. I'm definitely gonna read more because I love this game and I love this patch I'm using right now. I'm gonna be using this patch for every episode from now further, so if you all like this video, again, leave a like, leave a comment, and I'll see you with this patch next time. I'll see you all next time. Okay.